Facebook at Kaieteur Radio.
And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here. Let's get to the news in detail. Even though it is crucial for the governments of oil-producing states to ensure maximum participation and capacity building of their citizens in the industry, that alone will not be enough to save the sector from failure. According to petroleum expert and energy strategist Anthony Paul, his home country, Trinidad and Tobago, knows this lesson all too well. Paul said that a country must have proper governance and oversight, or else all will fail with value lost every day. Further to this, Paul sought to stress that at the heart of Trinidad's struggle today is the lack of accountability of the regulator of the sector. Meanwhile, withdrawals from Guyana's contingencies fund for 2019 amounted to $4.1 billion, but according to the Auditor General, these did not meet the criteria set out in Section 421(3) of the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act. The Attorney General explained that Section 221 of the Constitution explicitly states Parliament may make provisions for the establishment of a contingencies fund and for authorizing the minister responsible for financing to make advances from that fund if he is satisfied that there is an urgent need for expenditure for which no other provision exists. The minister at the time was Winston Jordan. And moving on. Cops have begun a manhunt for a Cuban national who allegedly hammered his girlfriend to death and slit her child's throat before locking up her sleeping father in the house. Currently on the run from police is Joel Rodriguez Barrientos of Orlando de la Provincia, Santiago, Cuba. Barrientos is accused of murdering a 35-year-old salesgirl, Tara Krishnaran, and her 11-year-old daughter, Larissa Singh, at their home located at Princess Street Lodge. Detectives believe that Barrientos might have slain both of them sometime after 20 hours on a Christmas night. Their bloodied corpses were discovered around 9 hours the following day by his father-in-law, 67-year-old Yamona Krishnaran, who had woken up and found himself locked in the house. In other news, details from the recently laid Auditor General report show that some $203 million in equipment and furniture are missing from several government agencies under the Ministry of Public Security. According to the report, the sum of $657.7 million was budgeted for the procurement of office furniture, equipment, agricultural tools, communication, and other equipment for the Ministry's policy development and administration, Guyana Police Force, Prison Services, Guyana Fire Services, CANU, and the Police Complaints Authority. And moving on, tax exemptions are useful tools to stimulate investment. However, in the absence of proper planning, a country could suffer disadvantages such as the increased burden which the tax collector and regulator must take on, in order to ensure there is compliance with tax obligations. Now, as a result of this finding, the African Center for Energy Policy advises that any decision on exemptions should be informed by scientific analysis with measurable outcomes and timelines, ensuring that the regulator's burden is kept to a minimum. And now let's tell you, a pedestrian was struck down on Christmas Day by a drunk cop who was riding a police ATV along the Denamstel public road on the west coast of Demerara. 45-year-old Sean Peters of Back Street, Denamstel, was struck down around 17 hours last Friday afternoon, and he sustained injuries to his leg and had to be rushed in an ambulance to the Lenora Cottage Hospital. He was treated by an on-duty doctor and later sent away. Detectives performed a breathalyzer test on the constable, and it showed that he had 15 micrograms alcohol in his blood content. An investigation has since been launched. And that brings us to the end of this evening's newscast. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio. Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.